No time to talk, Commander. Not when we're so close to spilling Ziegler's guts. I mean, so close to getting him to spill his guts. Metaphorically. Before I do it literally.
Why are you still alive? There's been some ghastly mistake. We must speak on the latest revelation before you compound it by killing me. You're obviously unaware that you've been officially marked for death. Otherwise, you'd have killed yourself and saved us all the trouble. It's unfortunate I was unable to inform you of this before you killed so many loyal members of the Dawn. But so be it. Glad we were able to clarify all of that. Well?
I'm thinking I'd normally just kill this idiot where he stands, but I must know what in the architect's name he's going on about. Ziegler, what's got into your brain pan? You used to be a dedicated member of the Dawn. How could you think there was a legitimate kill order on me?
You were revealed as a betrayer through the sanctified channel. How can you disobey a revelation from on high, when you yourself exhorted us constantly to never do such?
You make a compelling point. But then again, so does my knife. Let me introduce you to it. Why the fuck not? You're such the jester, Commander. You actually had me going there for a minute. Now, where were we? Oh, that's right. It's time to stick Ziegler here like a cysty pig on a spit. Wrist weapon prime! I can't believe what Hierarch Ziegler was saying. How could there be an official kill order out on me? The poor fools probably thought they were just fulfilling their duty. If only it were that simple. It should be impossible for someone to infiltrate our communication systems, especially when it comes to a high-level communique. Unless they somehow have our codes. This could only mean that one of our members has been compromised. That's the question, isn't it? The only answer I can think of involves our communication devices. There is someone who would have tried to contact me to warn me. Someone who wouldn't have been taken in by a faked kill order. Not from him. He was different from most of these slack-jawed sprat bastards. I knew him from before. Long before the Glorious Dawn. We had a secret code we used to hide things from our parents before... Well, never mind that. Very well. Let's just say that he was forbidden to associate with me and leave it at that. Anyway, if he used that code to embed a message to me within a Dawn missive, no one would have even known it was there. It's strange there isn't a comm device here. Ziegler must have communicated with his cell in Golden Ridge before coming to this place. Well, no matter, we'll find one. I know we have camps on Cloister and Praetor, but I'm not sure of the exact locations. I'd like to try to find one and clear it out so I can access one of our devices. Hopefully, it will bring me that much closer to whoever it is I need to kill to put an end to this nonsense.
Anyone got lamps on Schultz? Anyone? Void be damned. Sallying into the wire like that with nary a wish in her pocket? What was she thinking? Did I not make clear our orders to hold the line here regardless of provocation? Should my instructions have been more robust? Perhaps assisted by pictures?
I'm afraid there's more bad news, Commander. She also took Scrabbles, sir.
Would that he'd done her more good. Seems Calamity has claimed 2 good soldiers today. You there. I don't normally sanction nameless passers-by giving ear to my private discourse. Whatever your purpose, I feel a contractual obligation to warn you against setting a heel past this base. If you go any further, you go alone and at your own peril. No Antes forces are permitted beyond the forward position upon pain of disemployment and possible litigation. Our orders are to sit and mind the store for as long as need be. First Officer Schultz's decision to enter the minefield was not sanctioned, approved, or encouraged. Frankly, I have no idea why she defied orders. Schultz was a good soldier, admirable sense of duty, less than optimal eyesight. Her loss will be felt in this unit. If only she had recognized the merits of our post. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue said watch until orders change. Calamity digs its claws in deeper. Thank you for notifying me of their demise. I'll send a car for replacements, and pray we do not suffer another attack before then. Protectorate are doing our job for us now, are they? Watching that station launch was a sight. Oh, this war, it certainly has its charms. Is that right? Then it seems all of Fairfield owes you a debt of gratitude. Would have been a shame to lose the settlement after all the lives spent liberating it. Then I suppose I owe you thanks. Granted, I could have handily managed routing them myself if I was not hogtied by my orders, but I digress. We'll hold here until orders to advance come through. I expect Carr won't be best pleased by this turn of events, but I'll leave you to sort out her rancor. Was there anything else you wished to discuss? Stay out of the minefield if you value your limbs. Though I've cogitated on the matter at some length, I lack answers. Only those breathing the rarefied air of the upper rungs could say for sure. Mystifying as the decision is, I'm confident Carr has some grand strategy at play, even if I have not, for some irksome reason, been made privy to it. By steadfastly holding the line here, we forestall any retribution the Protectorate would seek to inflict upon Fairfield. And we will continue said watch until orders change. I see you haven't gone and blown yourself up yet. Stay out of the minefield if...
scum! That miserable scum! To think he would stoop so low as to overthrow the Sovereign! I shall not rest until the Consul pays for his treachery and Arcadia's rightful ruler is reinstated. Do you truly believe this to be a fine time for a snide remark? Now? I fear how my fellow subjects will respond to this news. I believe that most will remain loyal to the Sovereign, but I will need to deal with those who strayed. That it does. How long has this conspiracy been in motion without my realizing? The very thought makes my blood boil. I sincerely doubt this is the end of my thoughts related to the matter, but we've wasted enough time with my ruminating. Let us be off.
Caution, Commander. Omnipresent high voltage detected.
Oh there. Approach the gate and identify yourself if you're looking for access. Well, of all the improbable sights I'd never imagined to actually see, folks simply wandering around the Badlands of Praetor would be near the top of that list. I've not the mind to solve the equation that demonstrates how unlikely it is you've survived enemy combatants, hostile critters, and endless lightning in near equal measure. Is that so? Amusingly enough, I'm inclined to believe you, which means you might be just the help Exemplar Simon's been waiting for. He is in the lab atop the hydraulicalized lift. Ironically, the lift was struck by lightning while the station was being reset and is stuck in its raised position. There is a trail that leads to the top. Just mind the jump onto the platform, and don't touch anything glowing, sparking, or obviously shedding lightning on your way there. And given the situation we find ourselves in, I'll be leaving the gate charged unless you're ready to pass through it. Just approach, and I'll power it down for you. Should you ever need to exit the station, just approach the gate, and I can open it for you.
Greetings, unaffiliated individual? Could you be a freelancer? A gun for hire? Might you be interested in a job involving the removal of dangerous creatures? Very well. There's a cave directly southeast of our position, positively infested with raptidons. If you exterminate the lot of them, I'll upgrade your basic entry permissions to allow for purchase of our surplus of supplies. Oh, this is so exciting. I can feel the rate of my blood flow increasing.
So, you're the mysterious individual that's caused such a stir across Arcadia? Well, it is my sincerest of pleasures to meet you. I am Exemplar Simon, head of research at this station. Please consider me your personal conduit to this meager, yet profound portion of the universal equation. How may I be of service? So you're the reason I've been alerted to recalibrations. I'd wondered why some of these systems suddenly came back online. Originally, the Protectorate designed this facility to control those grounding towers, which are the only thing keeping Praetor's ceaseless lightning from turning us all into ash. And to be sure, that is the only reason Anti or the Protectorate haven't taken this place by force. They are rightly terrified of what happens if this station goes offline. However, neglect during this conflict led to Axon's shorting at 5 of the towers, causing gross misalignment. If they aren't realigned, the failures will catastrophically cascade. Wonderful. In order to recalibrate a tower, you must find the malfunctioning panel inside their control room and reset it. And to speed you along, I can offer a unique incentive. Prior to being driven from this facility, the Protectorate was exploring lightning-powered explosives. The concept was clearly beyond them, but I have already solved their errors. So with each tower you align, I can produce a batch of the explosives they theorized, and I would happily share them with you. Indeed. When aligned, each tower fills a capacitor I've modified, which provides me with enough electrical accumulation to fabricate a handful of these explosives. Unfortunately, the capacitors are only able to hold the charge for mere moments before failing catastrophically. Thus, I'm limited in production by the 5 capacitors that remain. So, for each tower you align, I am able to fabricate a handful of these electron explosives, the sum of which I shall share with you. That is fantastic news. I'll begin fabrication as soon as you've aligned each tower, and so I shall have the explosives ready for you upon your return.
Take the heat off you, Commander. Just say when. Give the order and I'll take care of him, Commander.
Engaging combat protocols. Fortifying AT. Sequencing attack strategies.
I'm at it.
Enthusiastically neutralizing unfriendlies.
Maintaining your...
You've returned. Are the Raptidons vanquished? Have you completed the job? Oh, incredible. Then, as the prime requisitionist currently at this station, I confer to you upgraded permissions that allow for surplus supply purchases.
Emergency protocol, Surveillance Prime.
Guns cocked and loaded. Just give the signal.
about to enter territory controlled by Auntie's choice. Act accordingly, or you'll end up as close friends with the inside of a Raptidon.
You there, you came from outside the camp, didn't you? Do you have a minute to take a job? For science, of course. Interested in work, or was the allure of helping to advance science and being paid for it too much to resist? I'll get right to it then. I need someone to bring me a Gorvid egg. I'm a head biological researcher doing some fascinating and mighty important work with Gorvids. I sent my assistant off to the north with a tracking device, hoping he'd lay hands on a Gorvid egg. I desperately need that egg for my research. Could you bring me one? Oh, and bring back my assistant, too, if you find him with all his pieces still stuck together. He ain't much good for assisting in research if he's all torn up. Sound reasonable? Which of my assorted critters would you like to know about? We've got quite a pile of them here on Praetor. Excellent hunters, trackers, and shock troops. Extremely loyal, now that we have them on an all-meaty roll-ups diet. We tried them, and they were devastating for all of 12 hours. Then we found out the hard way that they're attracted to lightning, which I claim credit for discovering. Once all the queens got zapped, that was about it. There's no more real hives now, just a few wasps left in the mountains. Gorvids are absolutely fascinating. A sort of simian-avian hybrid, extremely deadly. Absolutely incredible physiology. I can't wait to have an egg. The thought of being the first person to catalog the process makes me positively giddy with excitement. The profits from my next few papers are going to be incredible. Guilty as charged. My job is studying which critters we can use to fight the Protectorate here on Praetor. Right now it's mostly Raptidons, which I'd be more than happy to talk on at length if you've an interest. Excellent. Which ones? Something else then? Incredible! And to think I sent all those assistants to die for nothing. I should have just sent a heavily armed stranger first. Here's your reward. You've certainly earned it. Now, back to my lab. I'm going to get so many papers published. Every biological researcher will know my name. There's going to be statues of me.
What have we here? You're definitely not a member of my battalion. You best be here on business. My time is valuable. Why would I be? Are your lamps broken? Praetor is a dirtball racked by lightning storms. I understand the strategic value of Praetor, but this assignment is beneath me. In orbit, sitting in HQ, being involved in overall strategic planning of this system-wide campaign. My superior assigning me here. What else? If I could have solved it that easily, it would have been solved by now. If you think it's so trivial, deal with it yourself. Make it quick. We were working on getting around it by tunneling through a mountain. Unfortunately, work has ground to a halt, extending my deployment on this void-forsaken dirtball. Our equipment detected some kind of anomaly, mostly vibrations. Until we know what it is, I ordered to stop. Causing a cave-in gains us nothing. Agreed. But they have no defenses on that side. Why would you defend the side of an unclimbable mountain range? We could catch them off guard and put an early end to this campaign. Of course not, No, I'm not gonna dig into this right now.
You'll hear wireless free Arcadia. Featuring product advertisements specifically tailored to...
Of unfamiliar visages this side of Praetor. Our surplus is available for purchase if you're in need of something. More than happy to oblige.
You know, I reckon half the corpses in here end up as Raptidon chow.
Yes, and?
I spent some time as a Raptidon training assistant. If I get my final severance pay in this war, will one of the Raptidons I trained eat me?
Boyd, stop! I don't want to listen to you jaw about this.
Well, maybe it'll be Ripper, or Little Chompy.
Stop!
We don't want to make demands, but no more peeing in bottles and cans!
That's right, folks. Keep the chanting going. I can see the overseer up in her
If you
office.
won't let us
and we're
sleep for
definitely
8,
making
you
her
can't
miserable.
charge us for stimulates!
Welcome, fellow disgruntled worker. Can't say I recognize you. You come from a different plant to support our cause? That spiteful little cur. She's up in her office imagining new ways to make us miserable. But you're gonna need to find a different way in. She's locked the doors to keep us out. Honestly, we just want to eat, sleep, and relieve ourselves on a reasonable schedule. But the damn overseer, I think she's getting rich off of breaking our backs. I ain't sure how you're gonna get in. This door is barred from the inside, and I don't think there's another way in on the ground floor.
With no rest and no downtime, we shouldn't pay for Adrena time! No more bottles on factory floors! Time for unlocked bathroom doors!
Frustrations don't normally involve, you know, an actual vent. avoid the strike. They should be after blood.
Welcome to Auntie's Fine Product Revitalization Center, where we create tomorrow's brands today. I assume you are the disruption ameliorator from home office? It was about damn time you got here. This labor stoppage has put us almost a full week behind schedule and is making me look quite the fool. Some ne'er-do-wells, have incited our workers to halt all work. They've taken to making demands and carrying on about basic dignity and human rights. It should go without saying that such flights of fantasy have no place inside Auntie's Choice, and if we were still in Tau Ceti, they would face grave consequences. Nevertheless, here, we must focus on getting these ingrates back to work, and remind them that they're damn lucky to have Auntie's Choice to dedicate their lives to. Absolutely. These lugs have been positively exalted in the good fortune of rising to their limited station within the meritocracy that Auntie has derived for us. Why? Can you imagine suffering under the yoke of a sovereign's rule? Or floundering at the ridiculous direction of those claiming to know the future by way of math? No. Only within Auntie's Choice can these drudges achieve genuine prominence. If they exhibit excessive dedication, they may even earn some modicum of the success I have enjoyed. You're asking me? That clearly is your domain. Running this invaluable facility on Auntie's behalf is mine. As a managerial administrativist, and when I say I, it is critical that you understand that, as director of this facility, I should effectively be treated as though I were an executive. Is that clear? Well, there's no call for rudeness. It's unnecessary, unprofessional, and distracts us from the important business that I have the direct authority to dispatch you upon. This plant relabels dated items with new Auntie's Choice trademarks and slogans. It is critical to keeping revitalized products on the shelf for consumers hungry for something new. So, the workers may be unhappy, but they must realize their comfort is a distant second to Auntie's delivery schedule. Or in short, they need to get back to work. My workers are striking people now? How very alarming. We must resolve this before things get even further out of hand. They've appointed some kind of leader, and he's the one you have to talk to. His name is, Dummy? No, that's not right. Dunce? Dummer. Dumbly? Dunbar. It's Dunbar. If I'm honest, my gaze is purely focused up the ladder, not down it. I am a very important upper, middle, lower manager, and the way I advance that status scantily involves learning the names and faces of my peons. Their value is in providing their minuscule contribution to this mighty and prestigious corporation. And by providing their maximal effort, they allow me to ascend, vacating this position so that one of their undistinguished masses can fill it, thereby becoming distinguished. Well, that's all fine and good in your system. But here in Arcadia, it is Auntie's needs we cater to, and right now, her need is you convince Dumley Dunbar to get back to work. I believe he has demands, but I can't be bothered to remember what they were. They alter the generous terms Auntie offers, and so are egregious and should be rejected. You will find him up on the landing pad with some of his minions. Go help him understand the situation so everyone can get back to work. That clear? Yes, well, I'm sure you'll manage. Auntie has faith in you, therefore I shall too. Best of luck to you. Remember that your actions don't just reflect on you, you are also representing me, which is to say, you are also representing Auntie. Do us proud.
Heads up! Make some. We don't want to make demands, but no more beer and bottles and cans. If you won't let us sleep or eat, you can't.
I ain't aiming to seem rude, but I got a lot to deal with right now. Unless this is mighty important, I'll respectfully ask to be left to my business. Then what in law's name are you doing here? Well, that certainly is unexpected. And potentially wonderful. Assuming, of course, you can actually help us. And he's got to prioritize worker prosperity over productivity. What we've got now is, poor labor retention techniques? What's going on is, remind me again?
An inhospitable occupational environment that ignores worker safety and health concerns.
Right, that. Right. Exactly. The conditions under which Auntie extracts our labor is, unacceptable. They're egregious, even.
They work 20-hour shifts, which require stims to endure that are charged at a premium. Adrena time is actually cheaper on the undisputed claim than it is here. And if that inhuman brutality isn't enough to offend basic decency, they're also barred from using the restroom throughout the business day. Their 20-hour business day. It is an unconscionable condition to keep these workers in. I can't imagine how hard it is for them to coordinate their daily duties.
It has been incredibly difficult. And very, very messy. And finally, we realized we'd had enough. Our shifts need to be reduced to 12 hours a day. 4 hours of personal time ain't even enough to rest, much less get any actual living done. Second, if we gotta work those long hours, we want free Adrena time. Bad enough it's making everything taste like we're gnawing nickel pads. Having to pay for the pleasure's too far. Finally, we want all-day bathroom access. Expecting us to fit our necessities into the same 4 hours is just mean. Plus, between us, most folk ain't, if you get my meaning. Thank you for your trying. I don't know if we'll get it all, but every bit you add makes some part of our lives a whole lot easier.
Welcome back, Ameliorator. Did you make contact with workers? Do they understand that this stoppage is madness? Are they ready to return? So, what are these ingrate alley sprats willing to settle for? Golden privies and gilded sheets to be spoon-fed crunch whenever their tummies rumble? 8-hour workdays? 12-hour? Are they mad? What are they gonna do with the other half of the day? Lounge around the facility consuming air and water and power without compensating the company? I am, frankly, disappointed you would even bring me such a preposterous demand. You should have nipped this offensive arrogance in the bud. Well, it's true that data shows higher worker productivity on sleep than on stims. I never imagined restful production being more cost-effective than longer hours. That would translate into more profit for the plant, which means larger bonuses for me, which should be more than enough to make up for the drop in hourly production. All right, you've convinced me. What else do they want? Free? Free? Nothing inside of Auntie's Choice is free. Law, nothing in life is free. Everything has a cost. Everything. Materials, labor, time, distribution, forced scarcity. Giving something away for free is akin to ignoring the cost of its creation, which is one small step from the system completely breaking down and plunging us all into anarchy. What in the void are you talking about? My greed is certainly doing no such thing. What? No! I would never! That's slander. And or libel. And you can't prove a thing. Well, fuck. That's quite the rub, isn't it? All right, what do you want? All right. Though I don't know why you'd waste this capital leverage on benefits for strangers. But I suppose you've got your reasons. Is there more they ask? They want to relieve themselves on company time? I've never heard something so preposterous. Can you imagine how many bits that loss of productivity will cost us? What if they lounge? What if they take time to relax? What if they retreat to indulge their baser urges? Auntie would be paying for all manner of unprofitable shenanigans. Somewhere? Oh, that actually explains the odor in storage room 3. I never imagined they might be... I'll get the door unlocked immediately, and cleaning crews dispatched. What more do they want? Very good. Ha! I was going to say very good, but that would be downright farcical. There is nothing good about this situation. Please, just resolve it as quickly as possible.
Hello again. Do you have news for us about the negotiations? That's as fine a place to start as any. What did that tyrant have to say for herself? Is she willing to see reason? Well, I can't begin to tell you what a relief that is. By which I mean, that's great news. It'll be such a load off. A most promising development. How go the other hurdles of the negotiation? She willing to see reason? Free? Really? Why, I'd surely have lost that bet. I figured we'd ask for free and settle for wholesale. You're a miracle worker. What's next? Excellent. What progress have you made? That must have been quite the negotiation. Oh, my people can't thank you enough. This will be huge for us. Free time to sleep, relax and all? Wonderful. Well, you have done exceptionally well by us, my new friend. With these new conditions, we'll return to work with vigor rather than dread. Thank you.
Damn! I really felt like I was close to signing all of you, and I needed that recruitment bonus. I don't know how I'm going to afford my hair trim now, but I'll get him next time. And he won't always have you working her angles for her. And her usual agents don't stand a chance against me.
Next time? Against you? What in law's name are you saying? Sometimes you talk so odd it don't sound like you're Auntie's choice at all. It don't matter. All that matters is my working conditions have just improved mightily. Thanks to you, stranger. Now, if you'll excuse us, we're gonna get back to work.
I'm back to work under Auntie's choice ain't exactly my idea of success, but at least I'll have better terms to labor under now.
Just a week away. And I'm honestly not sure if I'll be getting bits or if I owe my whole check to the company vending machines.
The workers have returned and production has resumed. Wonderful work, our disruption ameliorator. I do wish it had gone more smoothly, but I understand you did what you must. I have already informed the Home Office, and with it, put in an extra sprinkling of mild praise directly with Auntie. She will, no doubt, be excited to learn of my approval. You may tell the executives that dispatched you that you have done an adequate job. Under my keen supervision, of course.
needed a stretch.
Over here! We're overhead!
saying. I'll take care of him, Commander. On your command. Hey, got a distraction for you. I'm the one you need to worry about. Just about down, Commander.
Looks like a Dawn camp is up ahead. We should be able to find one of our devices there. Finally! Maybe now I can get to the truth of this kill order nonsense. I just need to check our comms device for a coded message from my old acquaintance, Severin. I knew it! He wants to help me find out who's behind this. I sent a reply telling him to meet me at a place that should be safe. It's on Cloister. I found what I was looking for. No need to continue messing with the Dawn's communication devices.
We join our hands in reverent chorus. Console guides us through the night. Greetings, fellow loyal citizen of the Protectorate. Well, because I was ordered to, of course. Oh, of course. My mistake. It's obviously because my commander wants it done, and has more important things to attend to personally. Because their superior officer wanted it done? Oh, I believe it's because the Sentinels have taken over many of the duties typically associated with the Arbiters. The Sentinels must not have need of these supplies and didn't want to allow them to fall into enemy hands. Yes, that makes perfect sense. Although, it's not my place to speculate. Oh, wow. You really think so? I mean, yes. If it is in accordance with the paradigm. Thank you, kind stranger.
Commander, I have news. I finally heard back from Virgil. His message was suitably vague. I suspect he fears the Consul's eyes scanning his message, but I believe it to refer to the Arbiter training facility located on Paradise Island. Parts of the location can only be accessed by Arbiters. He likely did so to avoid the Consul's spies. There's a certain hominess to it, inasmuch as we have any particular home. Bringing our findings to Virgil will hopefully allow us to deduce something from all that we found. I only hope it dispels some of the muddiness we've encountered so far. Further complications would be most disagreeable. It's silent as a tomb. I hope we aren't too late. If Virgil's not about, he's like to be in the training grounds depths. There's a lift that will take us lower, located behind the door next to those stairs.
Tristan! It's a relief to see a friendly face. Do come up.
Virgil! Ah, thank the architect I found you intact. We visited the Supreme Arbiter's office in Central Control and found something impossible.
Impossible? Why is it impossible? So that you may claim ignorance as to the truth of what you've uncovered? Fine. If you're still so thick-skulled, Tristan, then I can see I've no choice but to confess. Hold. Do you hear movement?
Attention, Arbiter Virgil Montag. Under the jurisdiction of the Consul, we stand to bring you low. Do not resist.
Damnation! I knew the Sentinels were looking for me, but I did not expect they would come to this place. We have no choice but to fight. I can operate our turrets from this location, but you must engage the Sentinels head-on to prevent our being overwhelmed. Go now!
Arbiter Montag, lay down your arms. Surrender and die.
Construct me! Amen. That will be authority of the force! Your
Those fools were but an expeditionary force. I've no doubt the bulk of their number remains on the surface. I shall take an alternate path to prepare a surprise for our would-be assailants. Then I shall flank them as you engage them.
Hold. You were beginning to say something before we were ambushed. I would care to hear it.
Ike, we cannot have this conversation until we are safe. Engage those on the surface and I shall join you. Go now.
Virgil, enough! Our being at odds with the Consul is one thing, but that was a small army! What have you done?
You already know whether you're willing to admit it or not. Do you sincerely have a need for me to spell it out before you'll face the truth? Very well then. Tristan, you stand before the murderer of the Supreme Arbiter.
I don't believe this. The Consul must have captured you and sent you to mental refreshment. It's the only...
Open your eyes, Rao. Those Sentinels were here with due cause. The elimination of a murderer. The Supreme Arbiter was planning to send a message in her final moments, pledging allegiance to the Consul. Who do you think bore witness to those final moments? I did what I thought was just.
No. You lied to me?
I had to. I knew that if you learned what had transpired, why I did what I did, it would destroy you.
Would it? Or were you just trying to save yourself from my wrath?
With the demands this war has made on us all, I've not seen our mentor for some time. My visit was meant to be a surprise. Unfortunately, it was. I overheard her decision to align herself with the Consul before she realized I was there. This admission, I had no choice but to act.
But there was a choice. Why didn't you come to me? Together we could have come up with something. Some other course of action.
Because I didn't want you to know. I never wanted you to learn the truth because I feared you'd lose your faith. No. Sentinel Peralt's remarks were the first I'd heard of any secret room. I feared what you might learn there, so I scrambled to find an agent who might locate the room before you. I only had one contact who I knew may be able to do the job. Obviously, he did not succeed. I was pleased to learn that my decision did not result in his death, at the very least. That is news to me. A junior arbiter judging Tristan. I can't imagine you let that stand.
Killing one of Arcadia's future arbiters over a singular breach of rank would have been most tragic, but this is not the matter we're here to discuss. No. I can, if the situation was truly as he claims, understand his initial decision. Perhaps I even sympathize. Just a little. But playing false with me, that's another matter entirely, and the matter of justice remains. You're right. You're right. I can't let emotion get the better of me. I find myself torn. Though I still believe wholeheartedly in protectorate law, you and I have certainly encountered other dubious situations. You taught me to judge based on merits. Together we spared some and executed others. But what I have learned with you shall be most difficult to apply here. Virgil is my sworn brother, and he acted under duress. But killing the Supreme Arbiter is unforgivable. Yes, but it is beyond the jurisdiction of even those such as us to mete out such a judgment. It should have been elevated to higher channels.
And how would the Consul have reacted to an official accusation of treason by an inferior no less? You know they care not for evidence.
But the Supreme Arbiter herself taught us exactly that. That evidence proves the crime. Surely she wouldn't have been so hypocritical as to deny that?
People change when faced with their own death. I would expect you'd learned that by now.
Except that Arbiter's problem was one of intent, not action. I do see some semblance, however. But even if that is the case, there is no room for interpretation here. Sparing Virgil would directly reject all I've been taught to uphold. But I should. It's as I said, I must execute Virgil for his crimes. But to punish him for finding and killing a traitor out of loyalty, blast these complications. The law is clear on this. It is explicitly illegal for an inferior to execute their superior. The issue must be accelerated to a higher authority. But is addressing traitorism not the utmost priority of any arbiter? Is not the betrayal of everything we stand for more significant than a breach of protocol? The Supreme Arbiter taught us that conscience has no bearing in our role. But I suppose she has given me much reason to question her teachings. I cannot bring myself to execute my sworn brother. That sounds like the self-justification of a misanthrope. I suppose we'll simply have to wait and see if this decision was a horrible mistake. I know not what to make of the Supreme Arbiter's betrayal. I'll have to ruminate on it for some time. But that aside, I forgive you, Virgil. You are spared.
I know this decision can't have been easy, but better to make a hard choice you can live with than an easy one you can't.
I don't know what to say. I just wish there had been some other option. That's all well and good, but it shan't undo my actions, or bring anyone back. I must live with that. 1,000 words of thanks for meeting me here, Tristan. I know not what the future holds for us, but for the time being I must make myself scarce. Though, before I go, a parting gift. May Tristan make use of it better than I.
Go with the Sovereign's blessing, brother. And be careful. If you survive today only to be brought low by an agent of the Consul at a later point, I shall be most annoyed. Commander, this has all been draining. I need time to process what we've learned today. What I've done. Later, I hope we might discuss it. Commander, I've had some time to process what transpired with Virgil. Despite the manner of what Virgil has done, I cannot help but be glad I did not need to slay him. I can only hope he does not run afoul of further Sentinels. But allowing him to live was betraying the Protectorate, wasn't it? I find myself more torn than ever before, and yet it does not feel like a misdeed. I think I must serve the Protectorate more thoroughly than before. I cannot be merciful or weak. The Protectorate protectorate has let traitors fester in its midst for too long. If it's to survive, it must be sterner. I shall be the ready hand of this new society. Any who wrong the protectorate shall be granted no quarter. This I decree from this moment forward. Allowing criminals to flourish begets infinitely more inhumanity than adhering to the Protectorate's laws. Arcadia shall no longer be host to anyone who would harm the Protectorate, from within or without. I shall redouble this as my life's mission. Together, you and I shall rid Arcadia of anything that might fly in the face of Protectorate law. I shall adhere to it more strictly than ever before. My blood boils at the Consul's call. Overtaking the Sovereign at this most vulnerable time for the Protectorate. He will pay 1,000 times for this treachery. Any fool enough to stand beside him will fall as well. Justice will spare none. None! I had understood the two of us had built a certain rapport. Might we not continue traveling together until Arcadia is saved? I'm pleased you've changed your mind. Perhaps less pleased you contemplated parting ways at all, but let's move on, shall we?
Purchase!
The story of Auntie Cleo versus the Moon Man is a ballad for our ages. A thing of legend to be handed down for a modest fee to each successive generation.
Welcome back. We understand you've been a very busy little manty-wasp. Well, out with it.
Yes, time is bits. Tell us how it went.
A satisfactory effort, my ameliorator. I had hopes your talents would yield a result a mite more in our favor, but good work overall.
Well, I suppose I can't argue with the truth of that.
Anything else you'd like to report? Your performance at that facility went exceedingly well, all things considered, and it was an ideal first step in effecting my monopolistic mercantile methodology plan.
There you go again, pinning your career to that flim-flam mathematical malarkey. What do a bunch of eggheads know about marketing? Marketing isn't some rigmarole you can plug into a computronic doodad. It's instinct, intuition, know-how. It's a fucking art.
It is an intricately crafted, multi-phase marketing initiative that will introduce Auntie's Choice to the rest of the galaxy and establish the foothold of our pending monopoly. It requires a series of daring, almost impossibly savvy, perfectly timed, and flawlessly executed stratagems to create optimal market positioning.
Whole thing's a load of bunco. Calculatory claptrap from a bunch of over-educated know-nothings who are so smart they're stupid. Go ahead. Tell them who devised it.
With pleasure! The archive on Cloister analyzed millions of variables with bazillions of permutations to create an idealized path for total competitive domination.
Some oversized computronical doohickey. Mapping out key corporate strategery, just all as you please, based on what? Bunch of numbers. We're Auntie's Choice. We know what motivates people better than they do. Real marketing is gut-driven. It's not something you think about, it's something you feel. Or that is, convince someone to feel. Just leave the big picture ideating to us savvy executives, Ameliorator. Our top-tier expertise is only acquired through experience and time, which at the moment is of the essence.
Yes, suppose we should move on. Ursula, will you do the honors?
I'm the head of our proprietary Insight Acquisition Division. Stealing our rivals' trade secrets? That's our bread and butter. We can sometimes lack a certain subtlety, though. The Protectorate have a process called mental refreshment. Some kind of mind manipulation business. There's a facility for it on Praetor. Auntie wants details on their methodology, pharmacology, and technology. This archive plan says it's important? Fine. Auntie and I agree it presents possibilities. Actually, it's only 3. Surely you can handle twice that many tasks. I don't want to sound like the Order, but you could make a list, maybe. A few aspirational goals, if possible. If you see a chance to talk their lead scientist into joining us, and/or dig up additional details about the process, do so.
Which is to say, we'll make it more worth your while. I promise you'll never want for compensation while in our employ.
See you when it's done.